We are live. Wow, 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 wow. Hello, 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 beautiful people. It's just so amazing to be back here. How is your winning Wednesday going? Yes. Are you winning? Are you still prepared to win? Woo-hoo. I'm in the winning spirit, the winning mood, right? We are ready to crush those ghosts and keep crushing them. So, I want to say happy new month of November. Officially, we are about 60 days before the end of the year, right?
Yeah.
And as
Yeah.
it is, we might not even have the whole of those 60 days because we will have holidays in between. That means we need to buckle down to some seriousness. See, this is the time to go look at those goals that we put together some 10 months ago. Examine them, check them, right? And if you've been able or an opportune to, crush those goals to the level you want them, do not stop. Keep going, right? Today we'll be talking about something you can do to impact a lot of people's lives. And today with me, I have Ajia in the house, right? My beautiful friend, Azamina. How are you?
Hi. Good. How are you?
I'm good. Let's meet you for those of our, audience that have not met you before.
Okay. My name is Mina. Hi, everybody. I am originally from Tanzania, East Africa. I live in Ontario, so Toronto. I'm a mom. I have three young kids. I have a 6-year-old, a 9-year-old, and an 11-year-old. And I'm a wife, and I work full time. And I'm also doing this on the side. I've been doing it for 3 years. Actually, this month, October, was actually my 3-year anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. 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 Wow. Thank you for coming back to us. We love having you. We love the softness of your heart and the way you pour on us, from your heart. So today we'll be looking at, the topic that is very, very, very essential to us. And, the topic simply is the joy of giving back, right? The act of giving back is very powerful, right? And it's a transformative experience that touches the very core of humanity, right? And so the essential purpose of it cannot be overemphasized. And more so because we are moving towards the end of the year, we want to remind us that no matter how little, no matter how big, we can actually give back. And that is why I have Azimina with us today. So quickly, Azmina, I want to ask you this question. You know, I want to say, what motivates people to give back to their community or to those that are in need?
I think it's the power of goodness that we all have. It's, you want to, when you are blessed with a financial or you're blessed with things in your lives, you feel like a lot of people feel like, you know what, I feel like I need to give back because yeah, because God gives you these things for a reason. He doesn't give it to you just so you can enjoy it and your little family can you enjoy it. He's giving you to test you. What are you going to do with all this blessing? So it's we want to feel motivated to provide, to give back to the community because it feels good. You feel humble, knowing that you are going to be helping somebody, that you are the means to that person's whatever that they're going through. And also it's a positive outlook of what everyone is going through and the struggles and how we're all very much connected.
Wow. One thing I really pick out from your first two sentences is we give out from the goodness of our hearts. And
Yeah,
I want to believe that we all have that goodness in our heart. So are we ready to put them into action? As
that's
the
right.
Mina is here to remind us that yes, we actually can. Thank you so much for that. So I want to ask because I've discussed with a lot of people before that thinks that I mean the level I'm at, I can't even give back to nobody or to any community, right? So I want to ask you, do I mean, what are some small acts of kindness that giving back make I mean make differences in people's life, or do I really need to have something huge before I give back to people?
So when we talk about give back, the first thing people think of is money, monetary donations, and so forth. And in today's economical situation, a lot of people are struggling, a lot of families are struggling. So when we talk about acts of kindness, we have to really think about, what does that kindness include? Is it really all about money? Is this or something else? Because for us, act of kindness could be a smile to a stranger, holding a door for a stranger, giving up your seat for someone else. And just because those, like in our religion, and I'm sure all the religions teach us that kindness is the key to prosperity. Kindness is what connects everyone together. You create you create a instant connection with somebody when you're kind to them, right? Because you're just creating that that feeling, that good feeling inside. So just because you don't have the financial means to give back doesn't mean you can't show kindness. Kindness can be any form of charity, and that charity is loved by everyone, and especially the creator of all of us.
Right.
He loves the fact that when we give out, because he says that when you give, I will give you tenfolds. So always think of it that way. That's not always money. It's not always monetary stuff. It's what is in your heart and what are you trying to show the other side that's receiving it.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. Audience watching us now, catching up on the replay, I want you to take a moment to reflect on what Azamina just said. It doesn't have to always be money. All those little acts of, kindness that we can show to people, even people that we do not know. Your smile goes a long way. Holding those doors, saying please and thank you goes a long way to impact on people's life daily. So I don't know what your decision is gonna be today, being the first day of the month, right? How many lives are you gonna be impacting positively on each day as you go about your business? How many lives are you gonna be giving back to? How many lives are you gonna be passing it on, passing it forward? Those kind acts of kindness that you have received, that your family has received, right? So I want to go back to, the fact that, giving back has a lot to do with empathy, with understanding, right, among people. So, can you give an instance of how this can really play out?
Um, so when you're okay, can you just elaborate a bit on that question?
Okay, so let me reframe it this way. So, how does the act of giving back promote empathy and understanding among us as individuals?
Well, when you give back, when you give back, we can do a donation, right? Because what's happening is that you are learning about the other person. You're learning about a community. And especially when you are doing volunteering. Volunteering is very important. I think it's something that everyone should seriously really consider. Especially that now that we're near Christmas. That's the time of giving, the joy, the happiness that's there. Because a lot of us will be celebrating Christmas, but there are going to be others who don't have any means to celebrate. Kids don't have the gifts. That's why there's always this campaign that's going out there to say, share the love, share the joy out there. Why is that? Because we are starting to understand that there are people who are struggling, and I think when we are actually promoting um, um, so giving back, we are also encouraging others, especially the youth, and especially as the parents, we want to establish a positive outlook on our kids and say that, you know what, it's not always about me, myself, and I and my little bubble. It's about us as a community, a collective community. And we have to take care of each other. You have to make sure that your neighbor is okay. You have to make sure that, somebody out there, if they need something, you are, and you have the means to give it, why not? Right? Share the love, share that care, because that really connects people. It shares this bond that, you know what, there's someone that, and at the end of the day, if that person prays for you, can think of you in their good thoughts, again, like I said, God loves when you give because He has blessed you, and what are you doing with those blessings? There are those around the world that honestly speaking, they don't use their blessings for good cause. You know what I mean? It's always like extravagant this and that, and that's fine, it's totally up to them. But what are you doing for the community? Right? Because we are all collectively together, and I just feel so bad, like especially now that winter is coming. I can't even imagine those people who are struggling right now, who don't have a place to live, and what they're going through at this moment. I think it just connects us, it creates a connection, it encourages other community members to also do that, to help each other out. And I think it also helps out with organizations. I think it's great. Like us being in the business, we are encouraged to help out. We're encouraged to volunteer and go out there and help the other around, which I think is just phenomenal. And it's a beautiful thing to do.
Yes, it is a beautiful thing to do. Thank you so much, my friend. Yes, giving back is a beautiful thing. And guess what? If you give wholeheartedly, you feel so much joy within you that you've been able to help someone. So, as Amina asks a question, whose life are you going to be impacting today? Or moving forward, or each day that you wake up and you feel that kindness that you experience waking up, because it is not by our power, it is not by our might, right? Yes. How do
Right.
you want to pay that kindness forward? Look for a way. It doesn't have to be so humongous. It doesn't have to, you know, be out of, grudges that, oh, do I have to do this? Do something willingly, something so tiny as it might be so huge to someone because it will be touching them indirectly. So thank you so much. And you said something about, whatever we do, we are teaching the younger generation to do same, right? So
Yeah.
we are,
You sorry, give me 1 minute.
yeah, it's
Sorry.
okay. Take your time. We are
I love one.
actually putting
One
that,
second, 1 second.
act of kindness into
Okay.
forward into the younger generation, right? So if we do it, we are teaching them to do it. If we are neglecting it, we are teaching them that, hey, you don't have to care about your community. Just be you. Only you can exist. And let me tell you, it's not possible that way. So I have another question for you here, because we know that, you know, we are a community, we are in the society. So are there, like cultural or societal factors that influence our willingness to give back? And how does this differ around the world? If you don't mind touching around that.
Yeah, I believe that every culture around the world has this thing of giving out. It just depends, like what is their concept of giving. Um, it's different because everyone's. I think it is their values and their beliefs, right? That makes builds this whole idea of what it is that they need to do for others. But overall speaking, like we're all human beings. At the end of the day, we all need to realize that we live in this world together, and if we want our world to be this beautiful world for the future generation, it doesn't matter what culture you come from, what community you're from. We just have to start giving out, like give and be humble with each other, be kind to one another. Charity is not a form of monetary, like I said earlier. It's all about the kindness that you show to to your neighbors, to strangers, to little kids, even to animals. Animals are like these beautiful creation from God, and they show their affections through touch and through, they can't voice it, but that they appreciate when you give them something, or you pet them, or giving them water. I remember, like, my neighbor used to have a cat. Okay. And she would come into our house all the time. And I don't have a cat, like, and so I never used to keep cat foods or anything like that. But she used to always come, and she knew that the only thing that I could offer her was water, right? But even that was some sort of was my kind, was something that I was giving out, and I could tell that animals, they appreciate it, because she kept on coming back, so clearly she was appreciating something. So it's just that I think that no matter what culture you're from, or what your thoughts are or beliefs are, at the end of the day, we're all human beings. Especially in today's world, we have to understand that we're all brothers and sisters in humanity.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for reminding us that you just don't have to be kind or give back to only human, right? Animals deserve our kindness too. They deserve our love, right? That we are not having them personally as pets does not mean we can't care for them. So let's look at some ways. Let's just give example of some ways that we can actually, give back to the society, right?
Hmm.
And as we go into, those examples, I'm encouraging each and every one of us to think of those things that are lying around us, that are in excess, that you think someone else can actually make good use of it. For instance, those clothes that you have in your wardrobe that you've not worn for 2 3 years, right? That you think you're gonna reduce in size and fit into them, another person can actually make good use of them, right? So what
Absolutely.
are some of these ways that we can actually, give back to the society?
um so like you said, things that it depends what each community needs. I think it depends on their needs, what is essential at that time. So especially now that we live in the West, winter is coming, right? And like you said, there are a lot of clothes that's around us that we feel like, okay, I feel like we really clutter. Like we
Right.
go out, we buy new things, but then we don't seem to replace it. And I think now, especially with the holiday season around the corner, literally a month away, it's time to really think about what is it that we want to do for our community. So like you had mentioned, if there are clothes that's hanging around, make sure that those clothes are wearable, because people are giving out clothes that's ripped, has stains on it, and it's really honestly not nice. Why not give something that is clean, and that is something that you can wear and somebody else can wear? So I personally, like, I give away my clothes to like other people that I know will need it. um, but that's what I do. Also, just helping out now. I think now more than ever, it's very important to really be there for each other. The struggles that everyone is going through, it's taking a mental toll on a lot of people. And I think
Right.
keeping an eye on each other. Charity also is keep watching each other, watching, taking care of her, making sure that the other person is okay. If they want to talk, if they feel like they need to let something out, you're there. That's also a form of charity.
Wow. Thank you so much. So give those listening ears to people. Listen, listen, listen. Some people just want to boil and, say whatever is in their heart out. Be that listening ear that they need. Thank you so much. At this point, is there any advice that you want to give to someone that wants to give back to the society, but one way or the other, they are still very skeptical, especially when it pertains to maybe personal items? So, what would be your advice as we,
I
close
think
this?
we think a lot. I think we really overthink things over, and we shouldn't do that. When it comes to giving, when it comes to charity, you shouldn't think twice, and never be afraid that once something goes, you're not gonna get back, because God has said, and it's in all the books, God has said that when you give, I'm going to give you tenfolds. You will see. And I have seen it happen. I have seen it in my own life that it has happened when I gave away something and then it's like, oh, I don't know if I should, whatever. But honestly speaking, when I give it away in like a week, 2 weeks, I get something 1,000 times better. And I'm like, okay, what was I worried about? You know,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to money, a lot of people are very like, they hold on to that money, right? And it's like, well, if I give $1, what difference does it give? What difference is it gonna make? But that $1 can help somebody buy a coffee, for example, right? That $1 can just help anyone you don't know. And I'm a like as you can tell, like I'm a believer of God. I believe that God watches us and is keeping an eye on us for everything that we do. Any
Well,
small act of kindness, he writes it down and he gives us 70 more of those. So anytime that happens, and then every time each act of kindness erases 70 sins that we have committed over one small kindness, which for us is probably not a big deal. Even picking up a
mhm.
garbage from the street, that is an act of kindness because you could have saved somebody from falling down. You
Right.
don't know what you could have done, right? So it's don't be afraid to give charity. Charity is a beautiful thing. It makes you humble. It makes you grateful for the things that you have in life. And you want God to know that, I appreciate everything you gave me and I want to share it with the less fortunate. And you pray for that less fortunate to become fortunate so they can also continue with the kindness.
Wow.
So don't be afraid. It's a beautiful act, and holiday season's around the corner. So this is the best time to start if you haven't started before.
Wow. Thank you so much for that piece of advice. Wow. 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 All I can say at this time is wow, it's been amazing. It's been amazing. And this is food for thought and an assignment for every one of us, including us as well, right? If you are watching this, catching up on the replay, what is that act of kindness you want to engage in to keep give back to the society, to give back to people around you, to just pour into people's lives? No matter how tiny, be determined that as you go out each day, right, that priceless smile, that encouragement, those helping hands, those words of encouragement, be determined to pour it into people's life and impact on their lives as you go around. Thank you so much, Azimina, for making time to be here. We appreciate you so much. Yes, the holiday season is here. Find a way to help in the community. We love you and we say bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.